What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in and take a look at all of the new weapon perks, armor perks, modifications, upgraded and changed perks that we're going to see inside of the Forsaken expansion. We'll also talk briefly about the Masterwork system and some new stats that'll actually be available on pieces of gear when you use Masterworks in Forsaken, a look at what the new subclass trees will actually look like inside of the menus, and how applying mods and breaking down pieces of gear will affect currency in the game. So there's lots of stuff to talk about in this video, guys. If you do enjoy it, a like below is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to keep up to date with everything related to Destiny 2. But for now, let's get into it. So before we talk about the new modifications, perks, and how all of that stuff is going to work in the DLC, we actually got some further insights from Luke Smith. So we breaks down some of the stuff we saw in Bungie's recent stream, including that Masterworks will require more cores to upgrade, but will provide more benefits. Hand cannons can now Masterwork for range, so that's actually a stat that they weren't able to produce before. And of course, with the new Masterwork system, that'll be able to go up to a total of 10 points. So that combined with Rangefinder, which of course is returning, would make it pretty insane. One thing to mention though would be the cost of the upgrades for the new Masterworks. So Aussie Halo on Reddit pointed out it will now cost 10k Glimmer, 27 Legendary Shards, and 17 Masterwork cores to fully Masterwork a weapon. So every time you do an upgrade, it will actually cost more until you reach tier 10. Definitely something to bear in mind, especially if you're planning on dumping Masterwork cores into your Solstice of Heroes armor right now. You can equip 3 shotguns, 3 grenade launchers, and breach grenade launchers are both kinetic and energy now. You just say the Icarus mod doesn't make Cosmo good at shooting in the air. The new bow, the exotic bow, is a 2-tap, so 1 crit and 1 body. The mod system no longer grants power, and armor mods have been further buffed to reduce cooldowns. In PvP, we now have 2-hit melees, 3-tap hand cannon kills, and 1-hit shoulder charges. The Night Stalker's anti-super capabilities have been made more reliable. Storm Trance damage is increased, throwing knife damage is increased, and Golden Gun gains 2 seconds of searching. On top of this, the Healing Rift is increased to account for faster time to kill, and Empowering Rift damage is increased and also increases precision damage. So those are some of the additional changes and things you may not have noticed inside of the stream. That range stat on hand cannons with the Masterwork is going to be pretty awesome. Josh Hamrick does confirm that the functionality for elemental weapon mods and the ability to actually change them is being removed. So all weapons going forward will have a fixed element, and this includes year 1 weapons as well. So on August 28th, when they actually update the weapon slot system, everything we have right now will become fixed, so definitely apply any mods that you want to particular weapons right now. Claude Jerome also confirms some changes to Ward of Dawn, so it's going to be significantly harder for enemies to destroy, and allies inside of Ward of Dawn have a stronger overshield as well as a buffed melee damage. So just a few bits of confirmation right there. Also, in Bungie's stream, we got a very brief, unintentional quick look at the new subclass tree and what it will look like. So of course, we now have 3 trees, and this is to accommodate the new super. You can also see some of the different perks on the Sunbreaker right there. But now let's talk about some of the new perks and the changed perks that we're going to see. So firstly, we do see box breathing and snapshot on a fusion rifle, a linear fusion rifle. Those are 2 bonuses we don't commonly see right now. A quick change to mention though is one to box breathing itself. So aiming this weapon for a short period without firing grants bonus range and precision damage that resets after firing or exiting zoom. So now box breathing has actually been adjusted. I'm presuming this is going to be for all weapons. This isn't just a variation of the perk. Of course, that could be the case, but the bonus damage that you get will actually reset after you fire your first shot, presumably, or whenever you exit the zoom. Right now, as long as you stay zoomed, you do keep that box breathing bonus active. So I'll be curious to hear what you guys think about that. There'll definitely be some mixed feedback. Of course, we will be in a completely different sandbox though. Weapons are being retuned and buffed to left, right, and center. So we have to try and think about this as a change to a perk that isn't in this version of Destiny we're playing right now. But of course, we'll have to see what it's like when we actually get to play. You can see right here that with perks, you can preview them on the main menu screen. You can also see modifications that are applied to weapons. So major spec at the bottom right there is actually a mod. Here we see a hand cannon called Luna's Howl. This is a pretty interesting looking one. I've seen some speculation that this could be the Crucible hand cannon, or more specifically the one that drops from the competitive Crucible rankings, because it does have an exclusive bonus right there. So it's course, Luna's Howl, but it has a bonus called Magnificent Howl, and that of course is a new perk. We do see another new perk right here on this Badlander shotgun, so it's called Genesis. In my original version of this video, I did say I haven't got a clue what this bonus does, but I've actually found that Genesis Rounds was a perk added in the Warmind expansion to the database, but I don't believe it has actually been present on any weapons. So with the Genesis perk, matching the weapon's damage type to an enemy energy shield immediately regenerates the round in the magazine. So if you hit an enemy with an arc shield and you've got an arc shotgun, the rounds that you use will return immediately to the magazine, which sounds pretty interesting. It actually sounds potentially like a pretty cool bonus. We also see it on a rocket launcher though, which is very curious. I don't know if the perk has been adjusted since the description that we have from the Warmind DLC, but if firing this void rocket at a load of void shields is going to return a rocket back to the magazine, then that's absolutely awesome. That is what we know about the Genesis perk for now, but for the bows, we do have a new perk called Explosive Head, and this one actually essentially gives the bow an explosive round. And then right here we see a pretty godly Better Devils worth pointing out. It has Icarus Grip, so that's a mod that actually improves accuracy while you're airborne. It also has Outlaw and Kill Clip, so that thing's going to be absolutely nasty. And we also saw a Better Devils with Rangefinder as well, so Rangefinder is a returning perk of course. I'm going to talk about armor perks in just a moment, and we get a good look at a solid few armor perks that we're going to see in the game. Many of these are very reminiscent to what we had in Destiny 1, and they look pretty awesome, but the new mods themselves, you can see them right here. They include Major Spec, which deals extra damage against powerful enemies, Minor Spec, which deals extra damage against rank and file enemies, so that's more typical enemies. You've got Radar Tuner, which immediately returns when you stop aiming down sights. Targeting Adjuster, the weapon gains better target acquisition, and then of course Icarus Grip again, improves accuracy while airborne. Freehand Grip, which increases accuracy and ready speed when firing from the hip. You've got Backup Mag to increase magazine size, Boss Spec, which increases damage against bosses and vehicles, Counterbalance Stock, reduces recoil deviation for the weapon, and Range, which increases the range of the weapon. So those are just some of the mods that we'll see for weapons themselves. Weapons will drop with these mods on them, and when you actually dismantle a weapon, it will drop the mod that is equipped on that weapon at the time, which is pretty cool. So as we go through deleting various roles that we get, any mods that are on them, you can actually take off them, and then you can of course use them on other weapons that you do want to keep. So that seems like a pretty good system. But now let's take a look at some armor perks. So we have an impact mod right there. We don't have much of a description of what these mods for armor will actually do, but we also have pulse rifle targeting and sniper rifle reserves, which gives you bonus ammo. We'll talk more about the targeting in a moment. We have an impact mod again on these gauntlets. This time we have momentum transfer, and this is a bonus from Destiny 1, which reduces the cooldown of your melee ability whenever an enemy is damaged by one of your grenades. So that's pretty interesting. There's also linear fusion rifle Scavenger, which sounds like it may allow more ammo for that weapon to drop, or it could just be an increased ammo carry thing. This chest piece has unflinching submachine gun aim, so it adds unflinching to submachine guns on that character. You've also got hand cannon reserves. A bonus on these boots called Perpetuation, and it looks like that could be a cooldown focus thing. There's also Arrow Scavenger. Then on the class item we have Recuperation, which sounds like it could be a recovery type thing, and also Shotgun Reserves. So we're getting some pretty fantastic new armor bonuses here. We see some of them a bit closer up on the helmet, so Shotgun Targeting, improved target acquisition, accuracy, and aim down sight speed for shotguns. You also have the same thing for pulse rifles, and then we've got Sword Reserves, increasing the amount of sword ammo you can carry, as well as Sniper Rifle Reserves. So pretty exciting stuff in my opinion. Having various bonuses, mods on weapons and armor like this is going to create so much more chase. The amount of progression and customization that we'll actually be able to get from these pieces of gear is going to be really important for Destiny, because of course we can get many of these things dropped in pretty much any type of activity. And it also supports a grind for other types of content. You know, if you're after a specific catalyst from a strike, you do have that increased incentive, because as you play you're getting these armor pieces, these weapons, you're getting new mods. You're constantly becoming more powerful, and everything you obtain is actually useful. And in Destiny 2, that has been a bit of an issue, so really these changes do look very promising. It does take us back to a place pretty close to Destiny 1, but I like what they're doing with the modification system and the Masterwork system. We actually have more control, more progression now than we did in Destiny 1, or at least that's how it looks, so I'm pretty impressed, guys. A few new exotic bonuses. The Wish Ender Bow has the bonus Queen's Wrath. Pretty interesting interesting reference to the Queen right there. Of course it is an Awoken themed weapon, but when aiming down sights and fully drawn, you gain True Sight, which is of course the bonus that allows you to look through walls. The Trinity Ghoul, which fires an arrow that splits when released. We have seen this one for a little while. The Two-Tailed Fox, double tracking rockets, void and solar. It also has a bonus called Play with Your Prey. We've got Malfeasance, the hand cannon from Gambit, explosive shadow, combusts targets with explosive slugs, and it has taken Predator as well, which is another bonus we haven't heard about. And that is just a few of the exotics that'll be coming in the DLC, of course. We have seen others as well, but I thought I'd throw them in for good measure. So guys, that is going to summarize the video for now. Let me know your thoughts on the new modifications, perks, and all of these upgrades we'll get in Forsaken. If you have enjoyed this video though, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new around here, be sure to hit subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to keep up to date and receive notifications for all of my videos, of course. That way you won't miss out on any content. Also check out my Forsaken giveaway, I will link that down below, giving away 3 copies of the Forsaken expansion, so if you want to be in with a chance for that, the information will be in the description. For now though, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.